I'm here with Kristina Gill, co-author and photographer of Tasting Rome and drinks and food editor of Design Sponge. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, so the first question is from Rachel Khoo herself. If there's one edible souvenir you should bring back from a trip to Rome, what would that be?
So something that I like a lot, there's a store in Rome called La Tradizione, which means the tradition. Okay. And this isn't necessarily a Roman product, although you could bring a Roman cheese back, the Pecorino Romano, and there's a Roman producer, either one of them I can't remember the name of, the other one is Brunelli, I think.
Okay.
And then the Induja, which is the spicy salami spread, which I think is really good. There's a recipe in the book for it. Not that I'm trying to promote the book, but it is just a nice spread that's really versatile that you can use in many ways.
Okay.
And they have a really good version of it there. They're Calabrian, and that's where it's from, so they have a really good version of it there.
Okay, cool.
And I would bring those two things back, and legally. So make sure you declare it so it doesn't get taken from you and then you're disappointed.
Okay. So the second question is from KS. Everyone knows Italy for the pizza and pasta, but was Roman cuisine always based around carbs? With such great climate to grow amazing produce, how did this stereotype begin to form?
So I'm going to go out on a limb for this one and say that I think that the stereotypes probably came from movies, from cinema, and depiction of Italian. I think in Italy they say pizza, pasta, and mandolino or something like that. That is very, well, it's the stereotype we all know. And I think that's where the stereotype came from. So does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, whenever I've seen a film with Italians in it, they're probably around, like surrounded by pizza. So
and big plates of pasta.
Yeah, definitely. I really like your quote that we used actually on Khoollect, the pizza when it's good, it's really a work of art.
It really is.
Yeah, I love that quote. I think it definitely relates to pizza. Okay, so the third question from Alyssa is, I'm curious about how she got her start in food industry.
Okay, so I guess I kind of still don't consider myself part of the food industry. What I do at Design Sponge, editing the food and drinks column, is really a passion for me. I cooked a lot at home and I needed an outlet for it.
Yeah.
And that was a fun way to go testing all the recipes. When people submit the recipes, I think one of my favorite contributors is actually Rachel, because when I make the things for the photography, that's a way of testing the recipe. And if it doesn't work out, then I will write to the person and say, what happened here, the time is off or whatever. And Rachel, I think Rachel must have been in Paris then, and she had a cake that I was making actually on my birthday, and Rachel and I worked together back and forth on that cake. She made it 4 times.
Really?
And between the two of us, we were, working together. I think a lot of people don't realize that sometimes the recipes that we're putting on the column actually have that kind of backstory to it.
Yeah, there's a collaboration.
Just to make sure that we're getting it right. So every time she'd make it, I'd make it, and we were testing, okay, well, maybe it's our ovens, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. The cake came out really well. But so I just started with Design Sponge, basically proposing an idea for the column.
Okay.
And that's how it started. And then, of course, having a home on Design Sponge, food has become really popular. I don't know why food is so popular, but food has become really popular, so people are looking more and more for it. So when it started 8 years ago, it was a tiny piece, and now people are really looking everywhere for food. So
I think because food has become more accessible for people, I think that's definitely helped food become more popular. But yeah, no, that's great. Thank you for that advice. Okay, although you live in Italy, home of some of the best food in the world, Is there anything you miss from the US?
Is there anything I miss from the US or anything I miss from anywhere outside of Italy?
Yeah.
Asian food I really miss. A proper hamburger.
Okay. They don't do good hamburgers in Italy?
No.
Really?
Unfortunately.
Oh, God.
I mean, the bar is set really high in the United States, and then they have good... In Australia, they do good burgers. In Paris, they have a really good meat culture, so you can get really good burgers in Paris.
Good quality meat.
London, sorry.
Not very good.
You may not be number one, but you're way ahead of number two.
Okay.
And hamburgers always is a requisite stop for me in the United States. Asian food, like here, I've been to Indian, I've been to dim sum, I'm going to Hoppers today or tomorrow, so I always have to get my Asian fix in when I go. And then Southern food in the United States. Barbecue, real barbecue. I should be testing out the barbecue today here in London.
Which barbecue?
So I'm gonna call him a young man because he's younger than me. The young man who just wrote the cookbook Deep South.
Oh, okay.
His name is Brad. I can't think of his last name.
No, I don't know his last name, but I think I know who you mean.
So he's from Mississippi.
Okay.
So I would trust him to do barbecue.
Okay.
He's on the edge, but I would trust him to do barbecue.
Okay.
So I need to test that out today.
Cool. Okay, the next question comes from Akshay. He asks, what is your favorite dish that you can eat anytime and never get bored of?
So I shouldn't say this, but I think it is French fries.
Thank you so much for bringing in these little biscuits.
Do I have to eat one?
You don't have to eat one.
Okay, I won't because you only see a
one.
fraction of the cookies that we made because I ate so many yesterday.
So
these are the almond, I can't speak English anymore, almond and cinnamon biscotti from the Jewish chapter of our book. And these are sold in a bakery in Rome called Boccione. And at this bakery, I call it the bakery that sells all the burned food because everything looks burned there. If you go, you'll know what I'm talking about. And the cookies that they do are so dark. They're dark, like dark molasses color. So when I was developing this recipe, I was like, how do they get them so dark? And I sent my husband to the bakery to pick up the cookies. So let's taste them, see what they taste like, see what goes into them. And he asked them and they were like, no, only cinnamon and almond, which is impossible. And those cookies aren't burned because they're dark all the way through. But this was the best we could get for ours, and you can taste the cinnamon.
They're really nice, and they smell incredible. Like, they're just, the aroma of them is very impactful, you know? And thank you for watching, and if you have any more questions for Kristina, I'm sure she'll be happy to answer them.